Welcome to Rockin' the Ages, set in the heart of the beautiful Okanagan in British Columbia with your host, Cheryl Soleway. Life is like a game of hockey. There are fast breaks, sudden shifts, hard hits, and moments of pure exhilaration. To play well, we need more than strength. We need resilience, confidence, and a plan that's always changing for every period of the game. Rocking life at any age takes more than just push-ups, cardio, or muscle strength. It's about sharpening the mind, fueling the body, and learning how to adapt and thrive through every period. There are 7 essential keys that unlock a life of energy, joy, and purpose. Through inspiring stories, practical wisdom, and a touch of grit, Rocking the Ages is here to remind you that the later chapters of life aren't a time to slow down. They're a time to play bigger, stronger, and smarter. So lace up, lean in, and get ready to discover how to truly rock the ages. Hi, I'm your host, Cheryl Soleway. Welcome to part 2 of my interview with the dynamic Rhonda Catt and Peter's story. So you mentioned Peter and how young you were when Peter, your husband, passed away. I'm going to let you start and tell the story of Peter's story.
Okay, I'm going to try to.
Yeah.
So Peter died of a heart attack, what they call the widowmaker. So it was quite a substantial, yes.
Yeah.
He died just 2 weeks past his 45th birthday, young.
Yeah.
And I was, just 43, so young. And he was that athletic guy, did everything right, no family history, non-smoker, our lifestyle.
Coaching
really
hockey.
This wasn't something that was going to happen to us
No.
because of not only our lifestyle, but what I did as a career, right?
Yeah.
Like, you just don't think of that kind of stuff happening.
No.
Like, I look back now and there was a lot of signs.
Really?
With what happened. But I think our mindset, not only was it so naive to the fact that something like that could happen, we were always looking at the fitness side of it. Like, oh, you have achy legs. Well, you should see a physio, or there's got to be, is it a strength issue? Is it a mobility issue? My brain would always go to that.
Yeah.
Instead of, wait a second, what's the blood flow like, right? Like, you're not thinking like that. You're not thinking the negative, like, oh, this could take somebody's life. You're not
Certainly not at 45.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
And I think because of just the history of just him, his family, there is no family history.
Really?
It's not, even in my family, like, it wasn't something that was just there and that you had to be concerned about. My biggest thing with his death is I kind of turned it into, how can I make people aware that this happens to young men?
Mm-hmm.
This happens to healthy people.
Mm-hmm.
Dying of a heart attack is not something that just happens when you get older, or if you're overweight, or if you're a smoker. It was mind-blowing to me after his death how many people reached out and either were dealing with symptoms, had experienced a heart attack, fortunately survived it, and they were in their 30s to 50, up to 50.
Really, Rhonda?
That
Really?
20-year age group, I was like blown away.
So describe, in hindsight, what some of the symptoms were.
First symptom I can remember is he complained of having achy legs. So his leg, what he said to me is, I can't, it's such a deep ache. It's not something I can stretch out. And
for months, weeks?
Oh, this was probably a couple years before he died.
Wow.
It actually was.
Wow.
Yes. And
wow.
At first it was not, like I said, it was not ever related to something serious.
Mm-hmm.
It was always fitness-wise. It was strength-wise. It was
Right.
mobility-wise. We
Yeah.
always looked there first.
Yeah.
But it would be so sporadic, right? Like, he would complain about it, and then months would go by, he wouldn't say anything. And then you just forget about it. And then it would come back again. And then the summer before he died in 2015. The summer before he died, his fatigue was so, he would come home from work. He only worked, well, not only, but he worked 12-hour shifts, but he worked 3 days a week. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, he'd work 12 hours.
Wow. Which seems stressful too,
Absolutely.
right? So you could be relating fatigue
Well, and that's what we did.
to long work
That's
days.
what we blamed it on.
Right.
So he would come home from work and he would be on the couch and not being able to keep his eyes open. He would be asleep. So I would have to wake him up. Okay, hey, it's time for dinner.
Yeah.
Or I'd wake him up, hey, I'm going to bed.
Yeah.
And he's out. And so that happened during his work days. So again, it's just work.
Yeah,
It's long hours of
yeah.
And when it started happening on his non-work days, like I remember him telling me, man, today I napped in the afternoon. I couldn't even keep my eyes open. Like that was not normal for him. So the extreme fatigue, and I mean extreme, like this is not normal fatigue. And I think a lot of people recognize that. Like sure, we get tired sometimes and tired through the day, but this is a fatigue where you're like, this is not myself.
Okay.
And there was some episodes, and I hate to say this because I look back and I go, oh my God, how dumb are we? Like we had mountain biked and we came home and he complained, oh man, my chest is sore. But as an athlete or somebody who played like competitive sports, you remember, like I remember basketball practices and you would be running lines and you'd get your ass kicked and you'd be like, I can taste the blood in my throat.
Yeah.
I know people know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
You ran, it was so hard.
Yeah.
And that's what we thought.
Right.
That mountain bike ride, oh my,
Right.
it was so challenging. It was so hard. It kicked our butt. There was that. There was another time we were running literally a kilometer into the run. He's like, I can't do this. I'm going home. Oof. And in my brain, I'm going, well, it's only been 1 kilometer.
Okay,
See
yeah.
you later.
Yeah.
So I'm running and
Yeah.
coming back, just thinking, all these things. He's going back to school. He's getting his red seal and millwright. He hasn't
You're also,
been consistent.
middle age, that mid time, you're so busy. You've got your 2 boys.
Yep.
You've got bills to pay. You've got careers going. You've got a busy family life.
Yep.
It's a very crazy busy time. So
We
no wonder
had excuses for everything.
everything. I bet
Other
you
than,
would.
wait a second, something's wrong. You need to see a doctor.
Yeah.
Like, the one time I said, okay, enough's enough. You need to see your doctor. What am I going to tell my doctor? I have achy legs. Like his mentality was like, this is stupid. No, I'm fine. I'm fine. And again, it's just naive. You've got that invincibility of, hey, I'm young, we're healthy, we're doing all the right things. We're going to be okay.
Yeah.
And nope.
Rhonda, I know that this is very difficult for you to talk about, but what you have done, taking the positive, you created a campaign, you've created Peter's Story. In fact, the title of this program, we're going to call it Peter's Story in honor of Peter. Talk a little bit about that and where people can find information.
Sorry, that just got me.
Okay, no
I appreciate
problem.
that. Okay, I had created, it's an awareness campaign. I didn't want to have to raise money. I didn't want to feel an obligation to that because I did not want to ever fail that. So that's why I just wanted it to be an awareness campaign, just to share the signs and symptoms of a heart attack. Or I think because we were so naive in that.
Yeah.
That
you don't want anybody else to be that naive again.
Yes. If we can share what he went through, and then with that awareness campaign, I started to have people message me and share what they went through. So I was able to share their story and their symptoms to others. And that's what was helping people. People were reading that and going, oh my gosh, if I wouldn't have read that, I wouldn't have listened to my body. I wouldn't have gone to emergency and there's a lot of people that probably would not have survived.
So can you highlight some of those keys for us? Can you shortlist us right now if we had to be aware? What are some of those symptoms?
I think first off is fatigue.
Fatigue,
100%. Because again, in Peter's situation, these were symptoms that happened beforehand.
Yes.
There was these red flags, right? His body was telling him something's wrong.
Yeah.
There was time for him, and even down to the point where when he died, he woke me up at about 1 a.m. and said, "Hey, do you have any Rolaids?" And
so he had heartburn.
Yes, and
Bad
he never
heartburn.
had heartburn up to that.
Oh, is that right?
This was right before he died. He had played hockey,
Okay.
and what I found out after the fact is he was complaining on the bench, like, "Oh, I have heartburn
Really?
from the exertion of playing."
Yeah.
In the dressing room, game's over, complaining of heartburn, and then he ended up just leaving. Didn't hang around. Because that was what he was complaining about. I didn't know any of this. He came home. He made a bed in the living room because he didn't want to disturb me. And he stayed there for a couple hours, finally came into bed, and when he woke me up at 1, do we have Rolaids? I'm half asleep. I have
Right.
to get up at 4 in the morning. In my brain, I'm thinking, what time is it? How much, where are we? No,
Yeah.
I don't have Rolaids.
Right.
Not thinking anything.
Of course.
Not
Of
thinking
course.
anything. I'm like, oh, what, do you have a beer after hockey? And now it's
Mhm.
just sitting funny. Like,
Yeah.
and then it was 2 hours later. So that window, 2 hours, I could have been up. Something's wrong. You just exerted yourself. You just played hockey. You have heartburn. What is going on? We're going to the hospital. I believe he would be alive today.
Do you
100%.
No.
100% he would be alive today
Okay.
if that 2-hour span.
Okay.
But that's not what happened. And then he died.
Now, you also brought up, but having AED equipment, and I shared a story that my husband and I are pickleball addicts. Like, we play too much pickleball, probably. We don't think so. But we were playing, and a friend beside us had an episode. He went down, and he had no pulse, no breath. He was down for a total of 6 minutes. But within about 2 to 2.5 minutes, again, a friend of ours, an acquaintance of ours, knew exactly where to go get the AED equipment. Had it on him, I'm going to say in under 3 minutes, had it on him. Jay, my husband, ran to get, there was a second one in the building. Thank goodness, we didn't need it. But we know, or we were, that Craig saved his life. And you mentioned that these AED machines, why are they not readily
Yeah.
available? Why are they in gyms? Why are they not in our homes?
Yep. I believe they should be free, and you should have the availability of having them in your home.
Yeah.
I don't understand why they're scarce.
Yeah.
They're so expensive.
Yeah.
It's simple to me.
Yeah.
It's simple.
Having witnessed this and having watched Craig use them, it speaks to you the whole time. The whole machine tells you what to
Yeah.
do next. Oh, clear this area, put that electrode here, put that there. They are almost dummy proof as far as how usable
Mm-hmm.
they are. They
Yep.
talk people right through it. And it's not like you need a degree
Nope.
in even how to use these. So hopefully this campaign and getting that word out there, again, if we could go out to the 30-plus-year-olds and say the fatigue, if fatigue is severe, that's a warning signal.
Absolutely.
On so many levels.
Yep.
Figure that out. Dizziness. I had a previous episode, Lucy Blevis was my guest. And Lucy is too super fit, super, gung-ho kind of gal. She was very involved in her career in HR and that sort of thing. So, too, she always blamed her heart symptoms on just how active she was. And just having other reasons for why her heart fluttered or did this and that. And suddenly at 55, her doctor said, if you do not get a pacemaker, you're going to have a fainting spell when you're driving or you may not wake up from that. And like the message is to some really healthy people to listen to those
Yep.
symptoms.
Yep.
So Lucy's was dizziness and fatigue, though. She also, said, why am I? But she would blame it on how active she is.
Yeah, there's a reason. But what's interesting is the individuals who are sharing their story with me,
Yes.
the symptoms are not all the same.
Okay, I'm
So
sure.
it's not like the movies
Yeah.
where you're clutching your chest and
No.
oh, that person is having a heart attack.
Yeah.
There's been I was sweaty,
Mm.
okay.
But a weird sweaty, right? Then a
Yes,
clammy sweaty
yes,
that's
yeah.
like, what is this?
Yeah, there's that.
Okay.
There's the fatigue. There's I had one of many was, jaw pain.
Okay.
It's interesting that they aren't all the same symptoms.
Yeah.
And a lot of people say, oh, I never had any symptoms. Like, I'm sure there's something when they think of it, like back to it.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of people are like, I really didn't have any symptoms. I was just really tired.
Rhonda, we're going to stay on this same topic, but switch gears. I will be sure to link the information about Peter's story so that we can share and people can go to visit it. I want to talk a little bit about mental health as a big one of my keys as far as my 7 keys. But I think it plays a very different role when getting over grief. And what can you share as far as strategies for managing your mental health when you're dealing with grief?
Well, for me personally, exercise for me was my therapy. So
Yeah.
running, weight training. I did what I thought I was supposed to do. I think society throws you have to do therapy, you have to do therapy. Works for some people.
It sure does.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Nothing wrong with that. Not for me. Okay, so I did what I thought I had to do. I did what I thought I had to do with me and my boys, and hated every minute of it, every
you?
second of it. But I could go out for a run, and I would be crying through my runs or strength training, right? And crying. And every time I finished, it was like, oh, a little bit of weight was gone. I could make it through the day. Okay, I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. It would start all over again the next day, but that was honestly the only thing that helped me. That was my survival, was exercise. And I don't think that's wrong, because a lot of people will say, well, no, it's a physical outlet. You need a mental outlet, but that is mental to me. That
Exactly.
is emotional to me. That it is freeing, and it makes me feel good.
I love that you say that. It's funny, this story has come up with me a couple of times, more often than not actually lately, but I asked, do you know the story about the buffalo versus the cows and how they deal with stress or difficult? I'll just share this story with you. So when there's a big storm coming, for some crazy reason, cows will turn from the storm and they'll move away from it. And so that storm will catch up to those cows and then kind of takes their time getting over those cows, whereas a buffalo will always turn into a storm. And it's the same storm, but that buffalo, by turning into it, will get through that storm so much faster than the cows were. So we've had a little running saying amongst my girlfriend. It's like, be a buffalo,
Yeah, I like that.
be a buffalo. Same storm, same conditions, but let's just get through it faster.
Yeah. We just need to talk about death and grief more. I think we do.
Yeah.
I think that should be just normal.
Yeah.
We can celebrate weddings and everything, but when it comes to a funeral, that somebody has lived their life and we don't want to talk about it, or we don't want to talk about death. Like, it's weird to me.
Yeah.
It's absolutely weird.
You're right. So you mentioned, though, that maybe this is a new chapter for you. What is this next chapter? What are your goals, Rhonda? What do you think?
Oh, man.
Are you going to keep coaching?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Is that right?
I love this industry too much.
Yeah.
I kind of call myself, this might sound bad, I call myself an education whore, because I love to learn. I love learning.
Hey, your language has
I
been
love
pretty
it.
tame this
It has.
interview.
I've been very good.
I applaud you.
I can't go a day without learning something.
Isn't that interesting?
And
You know what I think you should do? Have you ever heard of Strength Finders, it's called? Strength Finders is a study. Have you heard of Gallup poll? Gallup poll does this and that. So this was started by Gallup poll many, many years ago, and they would have people who are looking for careers start to do it. Costs $75. You go online, and it takes about 40 minutes. So you pay your $75, and it fires these questions at you, and you have to finish it within a timed frame. So you answer, and when you're done, it shoots you out your 37 or 38 strengths. And what's kind of crazy ass is it's typically pretty darn accurate what it comes up with. You keep telling me how much you like to learn. You're a learner. You know what mine is, which sounds, I don't know, crazy but accurate? My top one was achiever. And there's good news, bad news. This sounds good. Oh, achiever, that's flattering. Here's the bad news about achiever is I wake up every morning and I need to achieve. So I can sell, I'm still a realtor. I can sell a $3 million home last night. I'll wake up the next morning going, what am I going to do today?
Yeah.
I can't go on a holiday even and not achieve something in that day. So there's a good news and bad news about it. But I think by finding out anybody, and you can do this at any age in your life because it changes all the time. But by knowing where your strengths are, it can really sort of point you in a direction. And you intuitively already know that you're a learner. So that's going to come up somewhere really high. But it might be interesting to see.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is I didn't I was 15 years of physio, but I didn't love being a physio. You know where empathy was on my Strength Finders list? 35 out of 37.
Oh,
35 out of 37 was empathy. And that's where, like, Jed says to me doing this, Mom, you're not that nice. Don't pretend to be nice. Um, we all have our strengths and we all have our passions. And it's so to understand them and then to be able to move forward, knowing that, oh, this is what I can build on. So hearing you say what a learner you are, I think you're also a teacher.
yeah.
You
Well,
like to
it's
teach and a leader.
interesting being in the industry of coaching or training individuals. I love that part of it. I
Yeah.
love training athletes. I love training.
You love sharing.
Well, I do. I love to learn something and teach it to
Yeah.
people.
The next guy.
But the weird thing is that's people. But
Yes.
I don't like being around people. Like I'm a hermit.
Yeah.
Especially after my husband died, I don't go out. I don't do anything.
Okay.
I go to work and I go home.
Yeah.
So it's funny. I'm
I
like,
don't think that that's uncommon amongst those of us in this industry as well. Like, when I go to these big conferences and we're all supposed to get together, we're all in our rooms.
yes,
I
yeah,
think there's something to that. I
Yeah.
think we're protective of the gas in our gas tank. I
Yeah.
think we're more introverted than anybody would guess or
Mhm,
know.
mhm.
Again, in one of my first interviews with Donna O'Connor, I mentioned how I never say, I say I'm going to come to their little tea parties and stuff, and then I never go.
Yeah,
I always have an excuse where I don't want to go.
yeah.
I don't like
I want you.
going.
Yeah, I want you to stay home.
I want to stay home.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yep. Again, you're like my sister in that way. I know you get that. And
Mm.
it's like, I'm trying to explain that. And yet we have all this energy to give people in a way.
Yeah.
Put me in that situation where we can coach, where we can train. And that's our jam. That's where
Yes,
we
yes,
can, we're
yes.
at our best. And like, yeah, I'm still teaching, aerobic fitness classes. I can walk into that room of those 15 ladies and be right in my element, have a blast. I had listened to a recent podcast and I wish I could remember the name of the speaker. It wasn't Rich Roll. I do like listening to Rich Roll as another one. But the guy was confessing same thing. He goes, put me on stage with 1,000 people in front of me and no problemo. Put me in a room with 8 people
Yes. Oh, it's
and horrible.
yeah,
So it just
yeah.
is.
I have a s-
I'm letting that go.
I have a social battery for work,
Yes,
but then that's it.
that's great. I
It's
get it. I get
I'm
it.
home, and you're not. I'm so stubborn. You're not going to make me feel bad. I'm not going anywhere.
That I
Like
believe.
it's not working.
That
You should be so. I don't give a. I'm staying home.
I get it. I get it. I think you're going to be just fine. And I'm excited to see what your next chapter looks like. I think you have so much yet to share. I gotta love every time we take a little break, Ron ends up sharing something else that I'm like, wait a minute, that's something I really want to talk about. So, Rhonda, you just mentioned you had cataracts removed from your eyes
Yeah,
at
yeah.
what age?
Well, I started getting them at 40.
So, what were your symptoms?
Oh, blindness? No, everything got blurrier and cloudier. Like
Cloudier.
if before I wouldn't know who you were, like seeing your face.
Yeah.
And
And were
what?
you wearing glasses?
Well, so I had contacts, but then I couldn't wear my contacts anymore.
Huh.
So then what I would do is, well, this is bad. I'd have to wear my glasses for driving.
Yeah.
I have to try to be safe. And
Good
it
for
helped
you.
somewhat. But then what was happening is, I'm trying to watch my kids' hockey games,
Yeah.
and I really couldn't, can't really see the puck. And then I couldn't drive at night, but I have to work at night.
Yeah.
So I would drive with my glasses, but it was still so challenging. And
Because,
there,
I mean, cataracts is a completely different problem, right?
oh
Not
yeah,
solvable by lenses.
no, not at all, no.
Cool.
But it came to the point where I was driving home one night and turning a corner, and I was on the wrong hand side. I was on the other lane.
That's not good.
That's when I realized, what am I doing? I can't do this anymore.
Oh
And
my
so yeah, I
goodness.
got my lenses replaced, and it was like, what? Because it was so slow, like a progression. You don't
Right.
really notice your eyes are changing.
No.
And then when I got my lenses replaced, everything is so clear and vibrant, and I can see. I can see everything.
You can see. Like I'm so dying. Like maybe 2 years ago now, year and a half ago, I heard of this wonderful doctor in Richmond or in Vancouver, and to go see him because yeah, it's cloudy. Like I
Oh
keep
yeah.
thinking I need to, and I should clean my glasses more often. That's legitimately a bit of a problem. But there's just a cloudiness that no lenses in my glasses seem
Yep.
to fix. So I am dying to get a doctor to come on my program and really explain to me what it is that goes on. Especially as we age, like here you are, that was young, I would think, to have cataract issues.
Yeah.
Because as we hit over 60, it becomes common. In fact, it's free as far as at some point if you get old enough. But yeah, Rhonda, it drives me crazy that my glasses never make my eyes ever feel good
Yeah.
enough.
And my doctor said, who got him done, he's laughing. Like, these are going to be good. You'll be dead before you have any other issues. Well, done, sold.
Seriously. Wow.
So it's been awesome. I don't regret it one bit. And
Oh,
it took me a while to get my,
did you do one eye at a
yeah,
time?
they do one eye, and then I believe I went back the following week and got the other eye.
Okay.
First eye was clear sailing, no problems
Yep.
whatsoever. Second eye was painful. That day was like, you're continually putting
Oh,
stuff
is that
in it
right?
to freeze
Okay.
it, but then done. Oh yeah, it was easy peasy. Yeah.
Living at Predator Ridge here, we're living amongst, we're not on the young side at 63 and 65, me and my husband, but there's quite a few people around here that are doing the cataract chat and talk about, but I'm all ears or all eyes.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how to
I
quite
do not
describe it.
regret it
You don't regret it.
one bit. I think I waited too long because I just had this fear because they were my eyeballs.
See, and the funny thing is the one warning I got from the guy that I went to is he said, you will love it, but he goes, you'll find driving at night, you can get an aura. Maybe because I had a different kind. Maybe whatever I needed, that would have been a side effect of whatever lenses I needed. I don't know enough about it.
Yeah,
That's why.
I don't really, I can't honestly say I've had any bad
Nothing.
symptoms at all.
Fantastic. This is Doctor in Kelowna.
Yes.
We have to talk.
Yes.
We have to
you
talk.
could-
I need this intel. Boy, every time I do an episode, I get some pretty good intel. My friend Donna helped me with some hearing aids. Got that intel. In fact, I went to Costco a couple weeks after Donna talked to me about it, and I got it's free. You can get your ears tested at Costco for free. You just belly up and they take you in, and then they tell you that you're well below average in that one ear. But yeah, these podcasts are benefiting me in a big,
Yeah,
big
yeah,
way.
yeah.
Rhonda, I can't thank you enough. It's been an absolute pleasure.
I could talk to you all day long.
We could talk
Yes,
all
this
day
is
long.
an honor. I appreciate you
Oh,
asking me. Thank you very much.
you really, really do speak my language. The way I love how open, I love how honest, I love how you see the flaws in the fitness industry. I love how you call a spade a spade. You've never been, one to get, um, eyes shiny from the packaging. You've always been that person that saw the reality and
I appreciate that.
yeah, you're good. So thank you, my dear. I hope we do this again soon.
Yes,
Thank you.
I'm all for that.
Thank you. That was such a powerful conversation with Rhonda Catt. Her decades of experience in the fitness world, but it's her honesty about the challenges of the industry and her deep commitment to empowering women to stay strong and independent as they age that really shines through. Her story reminds us that fitness is so much more than the physical, that it's about resilience, healing, and finding strength to keep moving forward even through life's hardest lessons. If you'd like to learn more about Rhonda and Peter's story, I'll share links in the show's notes so that you can explore her work and her mission to raise awareness about heart health. A big thank you to Rhonda for sharing her journey, her wisdom, and her vulnerability with us today. And thank you for tuning in to Rocking the Ages. If this episode inspired you, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who might need the reminder that strength, both physical and mental, is for everyone at every stage of life. Until next time, keep rocking the ages. I'm Cheryl Soleway.